Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and director of operations, Amy Maley. Each week, the team will offer industry terminology, tips, and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old home ownership. We thank you for spending time with us today. Now, let's join this episode of Title Talk.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Title Talk 2.0. I'm your host, Drew.
And I'm your co-host, Amy.
And we are here with Realtor Rich T. He's just been a tremendous friend of the show. He is somebody that we work with a lot, we lean on a lot, we
talk to a lot.
Just a lot.
That's just because I talk a lot. It starts with a quick call and
He's
it ends
a
with
lot.
30.
We love this whole thing, and it's a family thing. So we wanted to kind of get him on here again and have him kind of chat to what's going on in the market, what things are trending, where things are going. You know, obviously you've heard from Amy and myself about what we've seen in from the title side, but that's not always indicative of everything that's going on in the market. I think, you know, being a realtor, you have a little bit more of a push on and a pulse on what's actually happening day in and day out, and seeing, because you have to adjust probably quicker than we do. You have the front side of that adjustment. So why don't you kind of just tell everybody about you first, and then go into whatever you would like to start with.
Sure. Rich Stogars, Realtor Rich T, as he said, from Advanced Real Estate, co-owner of the Realty Team and a Homes for Heroes affiliate. I know it's very passionate about heroes in the community, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But it's really one of my biggest driving forces is charity and utilizing what I could do to help others, how I can help others through real estate. So I don't want to make it too much about myself in the beginning, so I think that's good.
No, talk about you. No, that's what you're here for.
So
That's odd. All right, we're already out of character. Okay, good.
We're done already. So yeah, I'm just I said when it comes to my personality, I am that giver. I just like to help out. I like charity. I feel as though that there's no better feeling than helping others. I know it sounds corny. I know, but we've gone gambling, and I've won money. I've had wins in life, but there's no feeling quite like helping somebody out. Nothing compares. And I always say, if we weren't meant to help other people out, we wouldn't feel that way when we do. It's
Good point. I mean, that's we talk often about it ourselves on this. Every time we have a chance, it's we try to align ourselves with people that are of the like minds, and you totally hit it on the head. I mean, it's exactly why we do what we do. So I totally feel you on that. It is a great feeling, and it's a wonderful reason to do what you do. And it really helps you like what you do.
Yes. And then it's easier to be genuine that way. Like, you could feel when someone's not genuine.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a giver, you're genuine. It's known, it's felt. And there's karma in this world. Like, if you do good comes back. And you'll be surrounded by it.
I did my 2 for Tuesday on Take a Penny, Leave a Penny.
Yeah.
And like those little jars.
Yes,
and, So that's what I kind of talked about. Good karma.
Yeah.
You do something good. So you are tying right into it.
Yes.
He watched it. Twice, so that he can plug that into the.
How can I claim it as mine if you say that? Okay, yeah, Amy inspired it, so it's out there.
No, but it's like we align with people that we,
Yeah, we
have
work
the
with
same.
it. It makes sense. It makes sense. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I obviously, like you said, we'll touch on the Home for Heroes thing a little bit later. Why don't we talk about questions that we get asked a little bit more frequently is. Are houses still out there getting bidded up, and what is that all looking like? And there's this stigma out there that, man, I don't want to get out there and buy a house because I got to compete with people, and I don't want to play that game. What are you hearing? What are you seeing in that world of that?
It's very true about your last comment. People have pumped the brakes. They got scared about all the competition, but we got good news on this. And before I start telling you, I got some facts about trends we've had. I got some facts about the past. Anything I say is not predicting the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's
Right.
going to happen.
Right.
All I know, right? If I did have a crystal ball, yeah, I'm a nice guy. I would still use it for this. But there would be other things.
Tell me.
Vegas, here we come.
Should I sleep for 15 more minutes?
Always yes.
Yes, always yes for them. So, so for the trends, I'm going to use this analogy to kind of explain what's happening in the market. The real estate market, let's say the speed limit is set at 60 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the last 2 years or 2 years of COVID, we're going 100.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, it's been 100
It
miles
is.
an hour. It's insane.
Pedal to the metal. Yeah.
And it's it was, fun at first. You're like, oh yeah, this is crazy market, aggressive market. But after you're going fast, you start to get worried and the risk keeps adding up. If I keep going 100
This is why
miles
I drive 45.
yes.
Curve ahead.
So it kind of, it quickly, we started to be like, this is not sustainable, this is dangerous. Everybody felt it in the market was happening. So it's nice that we're slowing down. Now, this is where the analogy is awesome, because we're slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going 80 miles an hour.
Right.
It's still a seller's market. There's still some aggressiveness in the market, but we're trending, we're lowering our speed. That radar trap is coming down the road. There's a warning. There's the reason we got to
That's
slow
why you
down.
always go the speed limit.
So even
I do.
some of the most offers have dropped in
Okay.
and I have data from it's the last 4 months or so. So they were on average, this is nationwide, there was 5.5 offers per home.
That's a lot of offers.
Yes,
So
on
like,
average.
that's insane to think about.
That's nationwide, you said?
Yes, this is
Interesting,
not a
okay.
microcosm of this
Okay.
of Lake County.
5.5 offers.
5.5 offers.
For every house that's for sale, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's
and then
the
you
average.
think about you're going, it's highest and best, they always say. So
Right.
it's not like you're just putting in your offer
Yeah, you have a
for what the
20% chance.
price tag says.
You
Yes.
have a 20% chance of getting that home. I mean,
That's why I still live at my
that's a
house.
horrible percentage for people who really, really want that.
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
with-
continue.
With the oh no, it's fine. You guys, I love that you jump in. Nobody's just going to want to hear statistics the whole
Right,
time.
right.
Want to see reactions. It then dropped to 4.2 and then down to 3.4 offers. This is data as of June.
Okay.
So we've been seeing, and then based on what I've seen personally, I know that number's going to drop some more, and it continues to go down. So that competition is starting to drift away.
And that's why you're saying it's still a seller's market, because
it's
there's
still-
still,
it's
a
still a
handful of
seller's,
offers for a
yes.
house. It dropped from that 5 number to 3, but it's still.
So maybe just to Amy's point, clarify the difference between that, the seller's market, buyer's market. What indicates, what is the big indicator for a market being deemed a seller's market versus being a buyer's
Inventory
market?
levels.
Okay.
Yep, buyer demand, inventory levels. We still have more buyers than we have inventory.
Okay.
Now that number is tightening up, and then we'll move into a neutral market when it's balanced, and then we have too much inventory, then you become a buyer's market.
So this means if you have time, sell your house now and go live with your in-laws.
Yes.
And then when it flips to the buyer's market, then go do your.
All the in-laws just went click. It's like delete.
Or your parents.
Yeah.
Love you, mom and dad. Still got a bedroom there. I'm coming home.
Perfect scenario. I mean, if it works, it's like buying a stock.
Yeah.
And then it takes off and you sell it at peak. It's
Yep.
really hard to time that.
Right.
But if you hit it on the way, that's
Yeah.
that's where you do okay. And overall in housing and where we're going, and I'll talk more about what it looks like, our future appreciation in housing market, you're okay. People who bought in 2006
No.
before it crashed in 2008 and held their property for a little bit, 10 years, 15, if they still have it, they have a ton of equity.
Oh my gosh.
A ton. So
Oh my gosh.
the only people that really have to worry about it is the investors and flippers who are going to be that short hold, or the builders who don't want to get overextended on their property.
Right.
I warn them differently.
Yeah.
If you're going to be moving in the next couple of years or selling this in a couple of years, we'll have a different conversation.
Definitely.
If this is a 5-year plus home, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right.
Well, and to your point, I being on the builder side of that thing, I'm sitting here holding a 13-acre plot of land going, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna do all the behind the scenes stuff, because to push forward quickly, to hurry up and get these things out there and build on them, it's probably not a smart thing to do right now. I think I'm gonna hold on to this until things kind of level off a little bit, because there is a lot of inventory. Well, if I add more to that inventory, it just increases the chances of it sitting there too,
Right,
right?
right.
So sitting back on this going, okay, I'm gonna slow play this a little bit, not incur that cost of, additional
$1
loans
billion
and things.
lumber right now.
Yeah, and then lumber costs and everything else being inflated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of sit back and hold it because there's not that rush for it right now. And it's just, knowing the market trend and knowing what's going on around us has been really helpful to make some of these decisions. So having a realtor in your hand to discuss this with and say, hey, here's my portfolio, here's what I'm looking to do. Your answer is going to be very different depending on who you're talking to.
Every single
Right?
time it's different. Yeah.
It's not like whatever you give today is going to be applicable to everybody that's listening.
Right, correct. Each consultation
What?
is different.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, blanket.
Yeah.
Each person's needs are different, their wish list, their want list, what they're doing, some people just are looking for that home and they don't care about future investments. Some people are very number driven and they want to know where their value is going to be.
Right.
They want to move into a place that's appreciating a little bit more. Rich, where do you see this area in 10 years from now? Things like that. So
Can you speak to that a little?
So you
like,
are a fortune teller.
I asked to be a fortune teller.
Do you have any like data or feeling about where the majority of your clients fall into what we just spoke about, as far as that, what you're counseling them to do, as far as the home buying versus the holding versus the selling? Is there a majority of what you're feeling now, or you're dealing with, or you're fielding?
Yeah, I would. Most of the people are long term,
Okay.
so it makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
My investors, of course, that completely different
Totally.
conversation, but the majority of my clients, very few. I think out of my last 25 closing, maybe one was talking about moving in 3 years.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple, and my job is just to, so the buying, selling process, it's an emotional process for people. They use
Yeah,
more
it is.
emotions through it for the majority of clients. Us realtors, we're more on the logical numbers, and we got to bridge that. We have to bridge it. So that's what we do. So as people, as I speak to them, I have to calm their nerves and explain to them,
Right.
this is especially with the news and what you'll see coming out, like crisis, inflation, rates, Oh, it's a terrible time to buy. It's not.
Right.
It really isn't. However, if you're looking at it emotionally, you're going to have that fear. It's normal. It's the biggest investment of their lives, most likely. There should be fear there.
Yeah,
It's a
right?
good thing.
Yeah.
But that's why, again, there's professionals to go through and explain all this and really deliver the facts and walk them through it.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think that emotion is a big factor that we see in this, and I think guiding them through that process is not only important, but I think it's an education to help them make better decisions. What is, in your definition, what is long term? You mentioned 3 years. Is
5
short
years.
term? Okay, so you go anything beyond a 5 year
5 years.
stay.
I feel like I feel very comfortable saying if you're in a home for 5 years,
Okay.
based on trends and what we've seen, you're going to be able to sell that home. You're going to be able to pay the fees that are allocated with the selling of the home. You're going to be okay.
Right.
In most cases, you're going to make some money. You're going to have some equity there. You walk away with a check.
Yep, and a lot of people they're so attached to social media. They're so attached to the news. They hear interest rates are going up. We're in a recession. We're heading towards a depression.
You hear the
Like,
panic alarm.
all
Like,
these things, and in essence, just because they say they're going to raise the interest rates, that does not equate to immediately tomorrow at the bank your interest rates are going up.
Right.
There's a process to that.
Yes, there's a lot with interest rates, and something we say as realtors, you marry the house and you date the rate. That house is going to be your home. It's always going to be that same
Right.
rate, but rate's going to change. You could refi it.
Right.
This is cyclical.
I like that.
The
You need a
market's
t-shirt
gonna-
that says that. I like
I
it.
just put it out in the universe. and I
true.
stole it. So
Well,
from
I like it.
somebody
It was
else.
good.
Okay,
I like
thank
it.
you very much. Not the originator of it, but
But I
say
do.
it well.
Props on it.
Thank you. Here, love.
Yeah.
Wait, don't you hate that or he hates that?
I hate that, but
You hate that,
well, actually,
but
what I
you
think I
watch-
hate more was that dance.
Yeah.
I think I hated that dance a little bit more.
Well, I like the dance. You're just a
Well, that's
hater.
because you do that. You
But
do
there's a
do
green
that.
screen. I thought,
Yeah.
Ryan there was going to put a bunch of people dancing with me. So I'm not the only one. It doesn't look
I'll
as
dance
bad.
with you. I got you.
So when I say we work with people that are of alike, that we are not alike.
There's gotta be
there are
some
you know,
uniqueness.
yeah, exactly. Fun sucker. Go ahead, Amy. Say
I was
it.
gonna say Debbie
Fun
Downer
sucker.
this time,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's fine.
Okay.
And,
We digress. Go.
With the interest rates, talk to your preferred lender if you need one. We could talk about it. I'm not going to go into it too much, but I will say like interest rates were, high 3s for at the beginning of the year. They went up a little bit, back down about 5% now. The rates aren't so dramatically higher that it's really going to affect things for you. Yeah, your buying power's lost a little bit. There's some fear in there now. You're paying a little bit more, sure, but it's still reasonable compared to where it was.
And I think that the people that were on the fence, or the people that were kind of affording the top end of their budget, this really impacts those people. The people
Top
that
and
are,
bottom.
yeah,
The ones that are barely able to make it, and the ones at the top, and they're trying to buy at the top number. Yeah, that number shrunk down a
right.
little bit.
So that is really, it doesn't affect the majority. This one really affects the minority of people that are kind of the folks in between. They're going to still buy a house. They're going to still sell their house. It's not those people that we're talking to. It's the people that are, like I said, just coming into the market, going, is now a good time to buy? I've been renting for so long. Ooh boy, I don't earn enough because now my buying power puts me below that threshold to be where I need to be. And just like you said, on the high end, it's the same. So, but it's interesting to hear that it's really only a 1 point difference versus what social media and
The way you feel about it.
yeah, the news
Feel
tells
like,
you,
oh
it's
my
like,
God.
holy cow, you're
Yeah.
getting 30%. No, you're
Yes.
getting 5.
Those emotions really impact the market. I feel as though, this is my personal opinion, this is something driving the listings up, because listings are higher.
Okay.
Listings are trending higher compared to the last couple of years. As
Okay.
there's, we're moving out of the seller's market, or it's not aggressive. As aggressive, I feel as though some people like, I have to move now. Because they could feel it getting
Yep.
away from them.
Yep.
And it already has.
Right.
You're no longer, from 3 months ago, you're no longer getting that
It's a
$10, $15,
yes.
$20,000 over asking.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get in before this happens. We're moving into back to school season. Kids are going, this is like the moment, like, oh, I need to go now if we're gonna do it. The COVID concerns
Sure.
aren't as strong as they used to be.
Sure.
People are scared about having other strangers in their home
Yeah.
and impacting their family. Those concerns have reduced dramatically. So there's some things out there that are pushing those listings up. At the same time, we talked about the things lowering that buyer demand. So as listings come up, buyer demand goes down.
Yep.
That's how we start to move out of that seller's market.
And now it's
Still
like
there.
people are getting pickier about the houses, like what they're looking for in houses. Because I feel like, rewind 8 months ago, it's like, holy crap, there's a house in our price range, put an offer on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even need to, and I feel like it's now changing where, like, people are
You,
being a little-
100%
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
We have to, and it's interesting that the realtors now we're gonna have to switch gears again. We're gonna have to talk more about what we have to do to market the property, what we're doing.
Right.
What our sellers
Right.
should do, what they should update in the house.
Yeah.
To
So
get that
crazy.
number they're looking for. And unfortunately, in a realtor's life, the average, again, is about 3 years. It's very short-lived. So if you've been a realtor for over 3 years, you're in, I think, the top 20% of realtors
Wow.
for your tenure. It's a demanding job.
Wow.
It seems like all sunshine, roses, unicorns, rainbows.
You know
all
nothing of
this,
what you speak.
yeah, right. And then you get into it, and to be successful, you
the
are
reality of it.
Yeah, you are serving your clients.
Do you like that about real estate? Like, do you like how it's a constantly evolving, constantly changing thing, or is it something that, you know what I mean? Because like,
Yes, no,
so
I'm
you
tracking.
had a career before this, and then you kind of got up and decided to come into real estate, and I'm sure it's a different world.
Yes.
And what's your thoughts on it? Like,
So there
I
are.
asked you 7 questions.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's okay. I'm gonna tackle 2 things on that. The one part that stayed consistent is I love to help people,
You're a people
to be
person, for
around
sure.
people. Like, I don't want to be alone ever. I can't do that. In a cubicle, I would be terrible in an office.
I'm surprised
They
you and I
would
get
fire
along as
me.
well
I
as
would
we do.
stop all work. So I like to be around people. So when I was
Yeah.
in retail and Walgreens, we seen 1,200 people a day helping, walking. Yeah, I drove to some of my clients' homes or customers' homes, help them out with stuff that I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So real estate, I still get that same feel. I still get to help people. I still get to interact. I still get
For sure.
to be with the public and develop those relationships. The other side of this, the biggest part of the change that I like is I'm no longer under a corporate structure that had dictated and controlled some of what I could do. Again,
Neither
we're
of
gonna
us.
reference the Homes for Heroes. I can now do so much more because I don't have to follow a set of rules.
Yeah.
In terms of corporate, there's still
For sure.
license laws that I have to follow, you know,
Right.
ethical, my moral compass. There's still, I'm not, woo, I get to do
Moral compass.
But yes, those are the two
Yeah.
biggest things. I can still get to help people, and then I am not restricted by corporate.
That's great.
Well, I mean, it was a big decision to step outside of that comfort zone of a six-figure income and stability to walking into something that is very unstable, very unknown, because and volatile. I mean, the volatility of this, and you just with hearing the conversation that we've had, 15 minutes into this show, we hear the movement of a whole bunch of things. There are a lot of things that transactionally happen in the course of a day, and not one of them is repetitive. The only thing that is repetitive is the way you handle them and the way that your outlook on them. That's, I mean, your repetition is within your own demeanor,
Yes.
right? We just started to brush on the conversation of overpaying for these homes and them, bidding them up and such. Is that still, are you still seeing those numbers where the folks are paying, $15,000-$20,000 over ask?
No, personally, I'm not. In some parts of the country, I'm sure it's still happening. Overall, that number has decreased. I think it was 61%. 61% of homes were purchased over asking.
That's an aggressive
yeah.
number.
In
That's a
in-
big
in
number.
last
That was
year?
the peak. That was April. Just
Okay.
this last
Wow.
April, as we're still
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
aggressive, 61%. 2 months after that, it's 51%. So it dropped 10% in 2 months. Again, I feel as that number is still trending that way. So if I had to throw a number out there, it'd be less than 50% of homes are being overbid right now. So we're now,
But that's causing, that's believed to be causing the new bubble, which I hate the word.
Yeah,
Which-
no
which-
bubble.
There's no bubble, no. Because that's what the talking heads on TV are saying is, because of this, they're recreating that bubble again that's gonna burst. It's gotta burst. It's just, it can't keep getting inflated, it's gotta burst. Well, your opinion, your thought, your perspective on what that looks like.
the issue we were going to have is if the appreciation of homes continued at that level.
Right.
Double digits, it's just not sustainable.
Right.
Nobody would better afford a home. Not with the current rate of pay and our average income of a household, there's no way. So that had to fix itself, which it's already started to. We're good like that. The appreciation now is projected to level off 3 to 4%. Now, we're back to a stable market. We're stabilized. We're getting stabilized, I should say, which is a great thing for not only us, but almost everybody out there.
Sure.
There's a few, it's not great for sellers,
Sure.
but the ones who were buying, they were selling and buying in that same environment.
Right.
So most of them, it balanced out, whether,
You make some on your house, but then you put it into the.
you have to, yes, because there's one, but now it's tightened up, but then you have better opportunity as a buyer. So there's a couple of differences with the last bubble that we have, and they could call it bubble whatever they want, but the housing supply is much different.
Yeah.
Our actual supply of homes available to demand, it's not like it was with the last one when we went into 2008. The supply of homes was much higher than it is now. Also, lender standards. Lenders stay tight on who they'll lend to. That hasn't, and we're not getting into the 08, that's gonna be another 3-hour thing. But the lender standards have still continued to be in control
Yeah.
of who they're offering, and we're not gonna overextend it. Foreclosures was the last one. So in 21 last year, there was 15,000 foreclosure. 15,000 homes in foreclosure. The Actual number in 2010 was 2.9 million. So
Holy
we have completely different
Oh my gosh.
We're nowhere near it.
circumstances.
That
and
is a
we're-
huge number.
There's everything that I
Wow.
see, everything that I research. There is no bubble.
No,
Again, I can't predict the future, but right now it's not a fear of mine. And when I talk to my clients, it's not something that I'm concerned about, and I let them know.
Oh, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you kind of bringing some clarity to some of this stuff. If you guys are just tuning in, we are here talking with Realtor Rich Tokars, Advanced Real Estate. He is a
Indiana realtor.
absolutely just a gem to talk to, based on the fact that not only does he's friendly with the people, and there's truly some empathy and care, and it's looking out for the best interest of the client, the people. It's not about the financial gain, and it's not about the wins. It's really about like something bigger than himself, and that's where we kind of tie into doing some biz together and things, and it really works out well. But he's talking about the financial place we're in right now, and if you guys have any questions, we would encourage you guys to reach out, ask him, set up a meeting with him. If you're looking to buy or sell your house, he's definitely somebody that's available. If he's not, he can definitely find somebody to help you guys out if it's in the Illinois market as well. Him or somebody on his team can definitely get you guys taken care of. And everybody, I mean, he's not going to work with somebody that is not aligned with the same type of thought process and mentality that he has. So just going, kind of fast forwarding a little bit, what kind of goals does a realtor set for themselves? Not financial goals, just what kind of goals do you have for the next 5 years, 10 years? What's that look like?
All right, that's this personally. All realtors, I can't speak for them, but
Right.
for me,
Right on.
I'm all about what I could do. So I have one huge goal in my life, and it's going to take more than 5 years. But I don't want it to take 25 either. But I do want, my goal is to give $1 million back to my heroes. I want to hit that $1 million charity mark.
Great.
And
That is now you say you're here. I have to tell you that Rich definitely was part of the armed forces as well, right?
Yes.
And so the connection there is obviously very near and dear. We have friends who are we're in active military who are suffering PTSD and different illnesses that I'm telling you, it's real. And to have somebody working on their behalf and with them and donating to the organization that really contributes to their well-being is huge. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah, do you want to just do what is Homes for Heroes, just for people that don't really know what it is, just a
Sure.
little snippet of what the goal of that is?
Sure. Homes for Heroes was created after 9/11, and it was a way to give back through real estate to our heroes. They've evolved the process, or evolved who's a hero, but it originally was for our first responders, veterans. They've added educators and
Yes.
healthcare providers to the program as well. And we kind of look at them now as community heroes.
Okay.
So I choose to be part of this program, and when I get a hero client, when I talk to them and see what they've done in their life, veteran, healthcare, any of them, if they're eligible, I put them into the Homes for Heroes program, and they receive a part of my commission back as a thank you. It is tax-free for them. It is a check that comes to them just as a way of saying thank you for not only what you've done, but in a lot of cases, what they continue to do.
Yeah.
Because our heroes have a certain mindset and empathy and compassion. They give so much.
Yeah.
So they continue to do that through their lives. This is just my way of giving back and recognizing them. I have a saying, this one I did create myself. I thank my heroes, I gotta say. I'll tell you when I stole something, when I created it. I always say I couldn't be here and do what I do if it wasn't for our heroes. If it wasn't for the first line responders, the educators bringing up and teaching me what I learned, our military keeping us safe, keeping our border safe and secure. All this goes into, and unfortunately in our lives, we've had emergencies. I have been helped by paramedics and
Yeah.
EMTs that were quick to respond and keep me alive and healthy. I had a terrible military injury where it was life-threatening, which there were services that helped me survive that. So all of these people in the community, they they allow me to do what I do, and I'm here today because of them. So how could I not feel compassionate about giving back?
Totally. No,
And that's, we kind of piggybacked on that because we were inspired by Rich doing that Homes for Heroes. Inspired Title became an affiliate of Homes for Heroes as well. So the cool thing is when he finds heroes and brings them to us, he gives them a check and then we do the same. So then the little double dip bonus for these
Yes.
people.
it's
So,
you
so
know,
thank you for what you do, heroes.
Yeah,
Thank you, heroes.
and thank you, Rich, for what you do for that, and it's really a great, it's just really a great thing, and I think you started the show with that conversation about, you know, that giving back and the karma, and I mean, there's no doubt, in my mind, there's no doubt, your success to date is because of those things, the things
Because
that
of
you're
who you
doing.
are, yeah.
Because, you know, at the onset, when you started this and jumped into this business, you know, you're trying to find your way, right? And
Yes.
literally, you know, you don't
You found
know.
it pretty quickly though.
Yeah,
That's
thank you. Yeah.
No,
You
for
don't
sure.
know what you don't know, and you're siphoning through a ton of different things and opportunities, and this one kind of presents itself, which screams at you, and here you are, very engaged with them, very involved, and today you're busier than you know you've ever wanted to be. And,
Yeah, I'm helping more heroes than I ever thought I
it's
could.
That's so
so
cool.
great.
So shout out there, they rank where you are at. So I am, for Homes for Heroes, I'm number 2 in the States.
Wow.
Number 34 in the nation, just through the Homes for Heroes program. This isn't other charitable donations, just through Homes for Heroes. I've given back $21,000 of my commissions to the heroes this year alone.
Nice. Nice.
And just to think,
And
it
the year's
gives me
not over
the
yet,
chills.
guys. I was gonna say, I have
Right.
goosebumps.
Because I think about like how it impacted all these
Oh my
heroes
gosh.
and what they did, 21,000, and then to escalate that to $1 million. So how you've impacted heroes with $1 million and what they're able to do and enjoy. And when they get these checks, they know what it's for.
Right.
And that they should. I really hope they do something with it they deserve. Whether it's something that brings them joy, a trip, something they
Totally.
need for the house, whatever they want to do with it. It just brings me happiness because this is something they wouldn't have had.
Yeah, and it's that there again. That is the most selfless thing that somebody can do. Is literally that giving of their financial wherewithal to somebody who is less fortunate and maybe just in need more than you are. And again, I absolutely commend you. My hat's off to you for that. It's I'm just proud to see your growth and what you've done over this short period of time of you being a realtor, which has been how long now?
3 years.
Yeah. So you're at the
He's
tipping
not a
point.
newbie anymore. He's an old guy.
I'm in that 20
He's-
years. I'm
he's halfway done with his
3
career
years. I'm a
already.
veteran.
Yeah, he's a veteran in more ways than one. He's literally a veteran, and now he's a veteran in real estate. And,
So crazy.
Yeah, it's you know, it's something that is really great to watch, and seeing you kind of move through this and grow into where you are today is awesome. It's exciting. It's fun to see, and it always kind of makes me wonder, what's next. What is on the next page. You want to write that next chapter. I recommend writing a book as you're going through this, because it is a great place to commemorate where you're at, what you're doing, your accomplishments and achievements, because I think it brings positivity to people who are out there wanting to be motivated and driven, and you're definitely doing it, and you're doing well at it. So
It's on my bucket list.
I'm sure.
Yeah, the
I'm
book
sure.
and the thought
It
of
should be.
just throwing it out there, just putting it out in the universe, the social media universe. I have a strong feeling, and I communicate about perspective. We all live in the same world, but it is so different for all of us, even ones that are close in the same niche. Like it is so different the way you look at life and your mindset and stuff like that. So yeah, and I want to go and explore more of that, and more just write about what people's experience are and how that changed their perspective on life.
Right.
And you can find a lot of beautiful stories out there,
True.
a lot of heartbreaking ones as well. That gives you that perspective.
It does, and life is full of perspectives, and I know, obviously, as family, we certainly take on a different look and attitude towards things, where it's not about gift giving, it's about experience giving, And it's something that Rich and I both are very, very passionate about is, with our families is kind of going, you know what, I'm not gonna give you that item that you want because that's gonna either break or eventually wear out. But that memory, that time that we spend, that never goes away. And those type things are what we try to do. And it's coming harder and harder to find those things, but it's certainly something that we enjoy to do, and it makes a difference. It's definitely impactful. So continuing to inspire, continuing to motivate. It's really what this whole thing is about, and recognizing that. Aim, you got any big questions or any big things you want to kind of
Nope.
end up with? Rich, is there anything that you want to share with the folks before we let them go?
No, I just wanted to thank you guys for
Yeah,
having me
absolutely.
back again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ryan. He's behind the scenes, but this
Hey.
can't happen without him. So
Yeah.
thank
We
you,
did have a
brother.
question from the gallery.
We have a question.
Buy and build now or wait to build, and any lines on cheap flips on the north suburbs. Shout out to cousin Eric.
He's there.
So, yes, consultation flips. We can't talk about like.
But yeah, I think his question more or less, like, do I buy and build now or wait to build? Kind of,
Yep. Right. Again, this goes back to the
Yes.
individual's needs. Overall, don't delay. Don't delay what you want to do.
Yeah.
Act now. Now, whether you enter into a contract or you actually start the build, it doesn't matter. Start the process, crunch your numbers, evaluate your life, go through and figure out what's best for you. The homes are going to continue to appreciate over the next 4 years. They're saying 3 to 4% backdoor average. So you build that home is going to continue to increase in value. It's going to continue to increase in value. We may have a hiccup in all our recessions. 3 out of the 5 recessions, we still appreciated homes.
Right.
The one, I think homes dropped 1.9% in value that year. That was it. The 08 was the only exception because that caused the recession,
Right.
and we lost almost 20% in value. So there's that
Yeah.
one exception. If we have a recession and it's not caused by the housing market, I'm not concerned about it.
No, and I will piggyback on that to say that the good thing about real estate is it's a pretty steady and safe investment if you're in it for the long term. You're typically not going to lose money. Right now, building and buying or building a house right now, maybe the cheapest you can do it for, with the exception of lumber prices. But because if you build it and it costs you $400,000 in 5 years, you couldn't do it again for $400,000. With just natural inflation increases, I think that the number would be incrementally higher. So today would be the cheapest that you could build, with the exception of something radically happening or changing to impact that. And that just impacts a lot of other things cyclically too, that would totally, change that whole number.
All of it would. Location would. Look at some of the towns now. Lots that were going for 20,000.
Yep,
5 years ago. Now they're over 100,000,
Yeah.
120,000 for a lot. So you wait a couple years and it's one of those neighborhoods. Yeah. So if the timing's right for you,
Right.
you look
right.
into it.
And I'm sure that you probably have some contact with some lenders and such that could potentially,
Yeah,
help
actually,
guide that process. And
Christina jumped in and said, you have a few lenders that will lock a new construction rate for 365 days. Jennifer, Montai, and Jill.
That is
Shout out
correct.
to them.
Yeah.
So.
A little shout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you for keeping tabs on
Of
what.
course. Thank you, Christina.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that's a great point, because lenders specifically will. Everybody's got a different lending platform and format and portfolio. Some lenders don't want to build on spec houses or new construction.
Yeah.
Some are, if it's you that's building it and buying it for yourself, the risk is substantially less, because you'll refi that out into an end loan. But a builder coming in and saying, well, I'm going to just build a spec house and I'm going to hopefully sell it and make a couple bucks. That's a different market than the individual saying, I'm going to buy my forever home and build it, and I can get a loan on that for 365 days. If it takes you 365 days to build a house, you're probably speeding. You probably should be thinking something else. So, to his point earlier, crunch your numbers, know your financial wherewithal, understand some of the consequences and risks that go with this, because there are some. And I can certainly talk and speak to those too. If you guys want to, have a consult on that, just send me a shout. So, thank you guys for today. thank you, listeners, for chiming in and asking questions and participating with us. We certainly appreciate you guys and watching this each and every week. We thank Rich for being on here and sharing some news with us and some updates on what's going on in the market. We'll be sure to have him back again here probably in the next quarter or so to, again, enlighten us with some more
Little touch base on the
statistical
market.
things.
30 days later,
Yeah,
it continues to
exactly.
change.
The statistical changes that happen. But in the meantime, you want to plug yourself, how they can get a hold of you and do all of that?
Yeah, Realtor Rich T. You guys could search me online. Call title company. It's good. The one thing I do want to plug is, once again, I'm going to wrap up with the Homes for Heroes. There are realtors out there. Like I said, there's Homes for Heroes affiliates all over the place. Whether you use me or not, I want you to share the word about the Homes for Heroes program. Get it out. It's all first line responders, EMTs, police, fire. It's healthcare providers, it's
Teachers,
educators.
yeah.
Yes. It is, and anybody who works in the education system, as well as our veterans, active or retired. Everybody applies to it. They have a website. You could go on there. It will connect you to an affiliate close to you.
Nice.
And then you can, again, just by me spreading the word, you can get those rewards you deserve
And nationwide.
as a
so,
hero. Yes,
yeah.
it is nationwide.
We'll throw a little plug up on our Facebook page as well to kind of recap and summarize a little bit of what we talked about.
Yeah.
How you can get a hold of Rich as well. We'll have that information up there. It's on the screen above us now.
The Homes for Heroes link we'll throw up there too.
Yeah,
just
we'll
so.
toss all that in there
Yeah.
so we can. So if you guys missed this, or if you want to share this later on, please do share this. With family and friends, let them know what's going on out there. Let them know about Rich. Let them know about Inspired Title, Inspired Business. We're certainly all trying to do and work for that same thing, which is the community and to better the place
you
that we
guys,
live
yeah.
in. So, what do you think, Abe?
Bye. Just kidding. Yeah, my name's Amy.
I am Drew, and this is Realtor Rich. We thank you guys for tuning in for another week. Oh my gosh, she's dancing.
You got
They're
two of
both
us.
dancing. Oh my gosh. Ryan, end this fast. Take care, everybody. See you guys next week.
Have a good rest of your week, guys.
Ow.
Well, there you have it. That is it for this week's edition of Title Talk. Be sure to head over to our Inspired YouTube page and subscribe and like. And make sure you follow the team on Instagram and Facebook. Join us again next time for more tips and knowledge from the industry pros. Thanks again for listening.